I'm Patrick Bailey with IQlist.com. Today is June 28th, 2018, and in this video, I'm going to be using a trace I made of an object. I just kind of outlined it, and I'm going to use that with Fusion 360 to help me create a 3D object. Okay, so here's the basic plan. So I happened to be in a store the other day, and they had a little iPad stand. I was like, cool, that's a perfect thing to 3D print, because I could put it on its side and print it out. And so I went, well, they got pretty good dimensions in this, I imagine. So I took it and put it down. I kind of traced the outline on the bottom, so I can use it as a guide. So I think there's other really cool things you can do with tracing things. I got some other ideas I want to do, so now that I've got this trace, I scanned it in, and so now I'm going to take this image, and I can apply an image to a plane in Fusion 360 and use it as a guide. So I'm going to use it as a guide to come up with basically like a little iPad stand that I can use and print it out. Okay, so here I'm in Fusion 360, and one thing, if you're new to Fusion 360, I do change one thing with the orientation so that the Z-axis is up. So if you actually look over here, you'll actually see my Z-axis is up. If you don't have that set up, and I do that because it helps with 3D print, so it helps to be in the right orientation. So this ends up becoming the bed of your 3D printer. So if you don't have that changed, you can go up here to your name, go to your preferences, and right here you have the default modeling orientation. You can change that from, normally it's Y up to Z up, and then hit OK. Now sometimes when you do that, you may have to close the program out and restart it, but anyway, it's really useful because you have it oriented in the right way. So with that, let's get going on this. So what I want to do is come over here, and I'll right click on here and say new component, and I'll say, I don't know, iPad stand, right? It's going to be a little iPad stand. And then I can come down here, let me see, I need to show the origin, click on the little light bulb. And what I want to do is I can actually insert an image into a plane. So what's the best way to do this? Oh, I didn't measure that, did I? I think it's 140 by 150. I better go back. Let me go back and remeasure that before I get this messed up. Okay, I just want to make sure I have the image is a certain size, the actual size, but I want to make sure my millimeters line up just correctly. So when I put this picture in, it lines up correctly. So let me go down here, and I will right click on this plane and say create a sketch. And all I'm going to do right now is make a big rectangle so I can put that image on the rectangle. So I'll hit S. I'll choose a 2-pointed rectangle. I'll choose the origin here, and I'll start to go out. And according to my numbers, I want it to be 154 millimeters high. I hit the tab button, and 166 wide. And hit enter, and that should get me a square that I'm going to put this image in. So now I can say stop sketch, and I can go into insert attached canvas, I think is correct. Attached canvas, and I'll select this face, and then I'll go grab the image. So if I go to wherever you went, where'd you go? There we go. And choose this little guy that I made. And I want it, the default settings, so it should be 1% size. It should be 1-to-1 ratio. Hit OK. And there I've got my object. So now I can use this to kind of trace. And I even angled it over so that's how it would rest on things. So now I can go over here and say, okay, let me create a new sketch on that same plane. And now I can use this as a guide. And so I got a couple ideas what I'd like to do with this. So let me go hit the L key, and I'll just start drawing a line. Because I kind of want to angle this, I think. So I'll do a little flat piece here, and then I'll angle. Oh, no, because hit L again. And I could do an arc here, but I think it'd be more fun to do a couple of angles, be a little more low poly here. And then right about there should be good. Hit escape. And let me do the other side here. So I'm just tracing. And yeah, I could do arcs, but I'm going to do it this way because I think it might actually look a little cooler not having precise arcs. There, go through bit by bit. This should be pretty quick. There's not a whole lot to this guy to create this shape. I'll go all the way down here to the bottom. And I should connect these guys up down there. And there we go. So now that should give me my basic shape. So now I can use the press pull tool, hit Q, and select that. Wait, no, you're not going to select that, are you? Come on. There you go. Select that. Press Q for the press pull tool. Let me go back to this view. Pull it up. And go to, let's see, I have 150 millimeters written down. Which the actual one I saw was actually bigger. And so that's going to be, but I didn't want to make it full size. They had a full size one. But I think I'm going to start smaller. Because I don't mind the iPad if I have a big one hanging off the side. So that looks pretty cool. I'll hit OK. And stare at that. Looks pretty good, I think. I like it. I think I like the look. Next thing though, I probably want to round the edges a little bit. So I'm going to hit my S key to bring my tool up and hit the fillet tool. Click on that. Start hitting some of these sides here. So select that, select that. That's maybe a little complex. Select all these. Yeah. You know, no. Let me back off from this. It's probably a bad choice. Because if I round all those edges, that flat edge down there is going to be messed up. So I don't want to do that. Maybe though, I'll round just a couple of edges, like that one. And that one. Let's see what we can do. Oh yeah, there you go. I mean, I don't want it that rounded. We go to 2 millimeters. And maybe 3. Hit enter. Yeah, I think I like that. And then maybe on this guy here too, on the other side. Ah, there we go. That guy, let me see. S. Use the fillet tool and get that one, and that guy. Again, I'm going to try 3. Yeah, I think that will work. Okay, so cool. Let me turn this into an STL file and go print it out. So I'll hit 3D, I'll go to make 3D print. Select this object. I don't want to send to mesh mixer. Hit OK. And then let me save this out. So I have my 3D print. I'll make a new file in here. Call it, what should I call it? iPad stand. And I'll call this iPad stand. Save it off. Let me open up Cruise and Control and drag it in and see what we can do. Now it's going to be pretty thin, so I've never done anything this thin, this high, but it's all one piece, so I think it'll be fine. But I will live and I will learn, right? Okay, where'd you go? You are somewhere. iPad stand. Okay, so let me drag and drop this iPad stand in here, which is plenty big. Oh, I did this before too. Okay, yeah, in my last video, well, that is a plane. I think there's a bug. I didn't really choose that. So there's the plane that I don't want. It'll ignore it in a sense because it's small, but I just don't want that. So let me go back and fix Fusion 360. Now, someone in the last post had mentioned rather than go delete that, because I could go delete this guy or undo the insert of the image. They suggested just to turn the light bulb off, basically, so you can't see it. So there's the canvases. So let me turn that light bulb off. And now, if I try to make it, let me see if that goes away, because that's a nice thing to know if that's true. So we'll select it, hit OK, replace this guy. It'd be nice if this just worked like that, because then I'll know for next time. Okay, and drag and drop the iPad STL file. Oh no, didn't do it. So it's still in there. Well, it still is a plane. Okay, let me go to bodies. Sketches. Let me remove the sketches too, just to see if that. I think there's a bug. But let me try. Oh, not decal. No. I'll give it one more shot. And if it doesn't work, I'm going to chalk it up to there's a bug in Fusion 360. Okay, let me drop that in again. Now there's a bug. A buggy bug. Okay. So in that case, let me go back, and on my timeline, I can just delete that trace. So I'm going to right click on there and say delete. Now it's gone. Now I think this should work. But again, I think that's a current bug. So if it's 2 months from now, maybe this goes away. I think it's a bug. Oh, there we go. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, that's about. Well, I could go higher. So, but I think that's a good height. Yeah, that should be an interesting print to print. Yeah, that's not very pretty right there. But that's okay. Well, yeah. Let's go do it. Okay, let's go to fast, 2mm height. Should probably go a little denser. I'll go 30% on this. Hit generate, and we'll see how well it does. Come on, print. Well, it's so high. You know, that makes me nervous. It's so high up. Let me put brims on. I can see it jerking around. So we'll put brims on. And let's see how well that will do. Dun dun dun. Okay, we got some brims. And looks pretty nice. I think that should print pretty well. Okay, so let me go save the G-code and see how well it does. Okay, where are you? Okay, so I'm gonna go print it out. Okay, I had a little happy accident with this. I didn't quite get it done, but I'm glad I didn't, because I want to redo this really quickly, because that 150 I put up is just kind of too big. In my case, all I really have is an iPad mini. And so it should work. Well, I don't really need to make it as big as I thought I needed to make it. So I stick this on here, and I got plenty of little room right there. I probably can go thinner than that even. And if I go down here, this is almost too tall. I could probably go shorter. So I think I'm going to go shorter. I'll redesign this real quickly and go shorter. But I do like this angle, so I might have a big loop that goes back here, because I think overall that shape works really well. But I just want to lower it and move that. But also I noticed a couple of things. One, I thought this was going to is too big, but I think it's on purpose, because I went and took a cookbook, not a big one, unfolded it and stuck it right there, and it holds really well. I was like, oh, that's kind of a cool idea that you can, that's probably what was intended for at first, just not iPads and different things. So I'm going to leave that as is, but also had a couple errors. So On here, when I was doing these little lines, I got too close. It looks a little funky up here, so I'm going to redo that. And also, with my line segments, I didn't quite get the look I wanted, like a low poly look. I think because I did too many line segments. So I think if you want to do that, I'd just do a couple. So I'm going to abandon that idea. I'm really just going to restart. And so what I'm going to do is just do arcs. So I'm going to go redo the design here. I'm going to step back, redo the design, only go up to, I think I wrote down 100 millimeters versus 150, and do the arcs rather than the poly, and also bring it down. I think we're about 30 millimeters. So let me just go back in my history and see what I can do. So let me see if I can show my sketches. There we go. So there's my original sketch. So I'll go here and roll history marker here. Let's see what that'll do. Oh, let me just go delete everything else. Delete all features after history marker. There we go. I'm gonna just wipe everything out. I still got my original square, but now because I've taken out my picture, I have to go reinsert it. So let me go click on insert, attach the canvas, select that. Now select the image, which is somewhere. There we go, cropped. So we'll stick that guy back on and hit OK. It's not visible. Toggle visibility in the browser. Okay, oh, there we go, canvases. There we go, because I made canvases invisible before. So there we go. So, good. So now that I got that, let me go back and edit the sketch. And now I've lost my, where'd you go? Stop sketch. Okay, so I got my canvas. Stop sketch. And edit sketch. I lost my canvas. What did I do wrong there? Let me stop. Let me go back and edit this sketch. No. Stop. You're visible. I can see you, canvas. Okay, select that plane, edit the sketch, and I lost my canvas. Okay, why? Find in browser. Where'd you go? I lost my sketches. That's interesting. So let me stop that again. Edit this feature. Display through. I think it's fine. I should be able to draw a sketch. Oh, maybe because I'm... Okay, maybe that's why. Let me hide it for a second. Maybe? Let me hide that sketch. Let me draw a sketch on this plane. And then bring it back. Okay, that worked. Got me a little weirded out there. Okay, so let me go back and start to redraw this. So I'll hit the L for the line tool, and I'll start right about there. And well, let me undo that. Undo S. I'm going to create a rectangle real quick because I want to create a rectangle of a certain size. Oh, sorry, undo S. Choose a rectangle, and I want it to be. I want that to be 30. There you go, because I'm going to cut that much off. There we go. So now I'll do the line tool, use L, and I can make this, the thickness is pretty good. So I'll go down here, and I'll make that right about there. And hit escape, and I'll make another line. Oh, that'll work, so I can match that up, right? Wow. I only want it to be 30. Let me undo. Undo. Because I want that to arc over. So I probably need to make that 35. Make that 35. Draw the line here. To about there. Line tool right there. To right about there. Let's see. And I will try to make those lines parallel. Parallel to that guy. Okay. I guess they're already parallel. Are they? Oh, they're parallel. Okay, good. Do the same thing over here. Line there. And I'll go all the way to the surface here. Oh, I don't have that, do I? And again, let me make those parallel, assuming I can. Already constrained. Oh, they're parallel. Okay, good. So I got those lines, should be the only ones I have to worry about. And then I want to make an arc there. So let me do S and arc, and there's a 3-point arc. So I will choose that point, and start to make this arc. That point. It's a little goofy arc, isn't it? I have to lower those down, wouldn't I? Okay. Oh, they're all constrained there. Okay, let me wipe that out. Go here and remove that constraint. Delete it. That's still parallel to that one. Drag that down to here as a point I. We'll see how well this does. Do a 3-point arc again. Point. Well, that looks pretty good. Try that. Escape. Let me delete this little reference there. Drag that down. Do a 3-point arc again. Point, and there. A little skinny over here. Well, let me see if I can remove that. Let me try that. Remove that. Those are attached now. And I could smooth that out, I think. Smooth that out as well. Not perfect, but I'm liking that better. A little hitch there. That looks pretty good. I'll go with that for now. Okay, then down here, I'm going to do the similar thing. We do 3-point arc at the end. Oops, where'd you go? I'll make a little nub here. I'm going to point there, and stretch it out. Point there, stretch it out. Make sure I hit the surface there, because I want to hit that surface. Not bad. I can stretch that guy out. Oh, I'll do that. We got some constraints that aren't working. Let me not do that. Look a little goofy. Just want a little nub at the end. Okay, there's a little hitch here I don't particularly like. Okay, not perfect, but good enough for my needs. Okay, I think that'll work a lot better for what I need. So I'll hit stop sketch. I'll go look at this guy. I'll press Q for the press pull tool. And I'll select that, and that little spot. And now rather than being 150, I think I can do 100. Let's do 100 on that guy. I think that'll serve my purposes a lot better. I could probably work harder to get those edges smoothed out, but I think this is going to work for what I need. And then let me round those edges again. So let me hit the S button, choose the fillet, and choose that guy, and go in 5. Yeah, let's go in 5 this time. And then do the same thing on the other side. We got some people printing stuff out. There we go. So choose. Let's choose the fillet tool again and select that and that guy and go in 5. It's kind of rounded, so it's confused, I guess, huh? Yeah, about 3. 1? Oh. Okay, we'll go with 1. Did something. Okay, I'll call that good. So let me go make this guy now. So I'll do 3D print. I'll choose this object. I don't want to go to Meshmaker. Hit OK. And let me go try this guy out. Let's see. iPad stand. Call it iPad stand. iPad stand 2. And let me bring up Prusa control and see what I can get done with it. See if I can get this prepped. There we go. Let's see. iPad stand. Dun dun dun. Oh, I like the looks of that already. Looks a lot smoother. Okay, cool. So I'll do 20 millimeters, 0.2 millimeters, and I like the density, so I'll go with that 30% again. I'll hit generate. Oh, no, cancel. I'm going to do the brims. Do the brim. And I didn't have any failures. I had the brims on this, and this worked just fine. The only problem I had is when I got here, I ran out of filament, so I went to go swap it, which worked just fine, but I think I pushed the wrong button, and so I couldn't restart when I got the new filament, so bummer. But I got a new roll of filament now, so hopefully this will go much smoother. And there we go. Let's go save the G code, and say iPad mini, so I know which one it is. iPad mini. And let's go do it. Okay, first before I go over this, let me go over the numbers. So for this print, it took 9 hours and 54 minutes to print. It took 8.4 cents worth of electricity, and it also weighs 0.138 kilograms. So based on $20 for a kilogram of filament, that comes out to $2.76 just for the filament alone. So altogether, this print cost $2.84. So I think I like this shorter one. I like this. This is good. I like the angles. I like the, just using the arcs. I probably could have done a little bit better job on here. But for my needs and sticking on this little iPad mini, I think it fits the bill real well. I like it. In fact, maybe I'll go post it on Thingiverse here and put a link in the show notes if I can do that. But overall, really good. Now, a couple of things that I might have done differently, and I might go redo this, we'll see, is if I'm really serious about using this iPad, the button here is a little hidden there. I do like having this high thing, but I might carve out a little bit here, go a little low and back up again. But overall, I like it. But the main point of this video was not necessarily just the iPad stand, because I'm sure if you go on Thingiverse, there's probably 500 iPad stands or iPhone stands or phone stands in general. The big thing about this video was the fact, hey, you can take a trace of something and then scan that in, throw it in Fusion 360 on a plane and use that as a guide. So this is my first time doing that, and I think it's been pretty successful using that as a guide. So cool. Well, anyway, that's it for this video. Hopefully it's helped someone out there or was just fun to watch. So I think I might go stick that on Thingiverse. It's kind of cool. Hey, if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, hey, give it a thumbs down. Also, if you like what we were doing here, subscribe to the channel by clicking the subscribe button. And lastly, have a piece of info to share? Just post a comment.